Back in my bag, yo. Conscious. ISO. Diamond. Back in my bag and I gotta brag, I do this shit for real. When we was down and we had nothing, we had to share a meal. We put the shit in overdrive with no steering wheel. Shorty throw that thing back in a pair of heels. Yeah, she be riding on that thing like a Ferris wheel. Yeah, I love them dark skin, brown skin, caramel. You know I had to bring it to the hood like she Karen Civil when she keep on turning head. Cause when she walk that thing jiggle, jiggle. And we going back to back on them like we Huey and we Riley. This that back in my back, flow, we back again so highly. This that back in my back, flow, we back to change the climate. This that back in my back, flow, we bring the force like Tommy. Back in my bag flow. Back in my, back in my bag, yeah. I'm back in my, I'm back in my bag, yeah. I'm back in my, this my, back in my bag flow. Back again, yeah, we keep on stacking it, what's happening? Everything in Gucci got me feeling like I'm dapper then. Life has been a movie, yeah, so shout out to the cameraman. Pull up to the scene, it's going down like an avalanche. Steady going up like a travel plan. Homer Simpson face, lucky power plant. Yeah, I'm off that dope, like I'm back again to busy at the Millies, out on Club Hearst. Give the word if it's a cinch, Lord forgive me. Still having motion, dog, so why would I slow it? Make it rain on them, then you throw it. We was steady having it, even now.
What is going on, kids? Let me know if you can hear me. What's up, everybody? Man, I made it early to almost every stream. How odd is that? Ed, What is going on, brother? Marco was in here earlier. Be Shady channel members in for a little bit, dude. You just hang with the sounds of my disjointed thoughts, put you to sleep. Marco, and then we got Neil McKenzie, channel member in the house. We got Brother El Cap Addict, channel member in the house. Brother Ron Crow, channel member in the house. Good to see you guys. Mind Milton, what is up, brother? I think Tri-State's probably still going. But I just figured I'd jump in here. I always like to get the music going a little bit early. Paul Mills, my brother from another mother. What is up, buddy? Good to see you, bud. Kathleen, channel member, what is up? And Paul's a channel member too. Burnt Relic, what is up? Burnt Relic. The Jason Brown creator. Go to burntrelic.com. Check out his work. Cannabis Soul, what is up, brother? Like the name. So I hope y'all are having a good week. And welcome to Insomniac's sit and spin, should we call it? Where we just kind of hang out. We look at some knives. We talk about knives. We talk about life. We talk about really what's on y'all's mind. Roman M, what is up? I do my best to stay in the chat. I've got chat on my iPad, and I've got chat in the window here. That doesn't mean I'll keep up with it, because anytime I share a screen, I'm out of here. I apologize. I'm on another page. I don't see the chat. Still mute. You not hear me? Chicka, chicka, chicka. Give me a thumbs up if you can hear me. If I'm muted, I have no idea what I've done. I got a thumbs up. That is all I needed. Thank you, brother. I appreciate it. I hope y'all can hear me. I can always turn it up. I can always turn it up. But I do appreciate it. It really does get me all.
I'm so excited!
Just to know that you can hear me. What is up, Messer HQ? Good morning, my friend. Good morning. Good morning. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I know that we pick up some of you guys before you go to work. I really appreciate it. I'm glad you stop in. Tuesday nights are a little different. Friday nights are different too. I don't know who I'm kidding. And even my channel member lives are odd. But it's probably because I'm odd. But the funny thing is, I try to react to things that y'all are talking about or curious about or what's going on in the chat. Crispy Critter, what is up, brother? Channel member. I did sleep today. Fred the Lug, hello. So I am a little bit awake, which is good. So I will hang here as long as you guys are hanging here. And we'll just see what happens, right? I do have some knives. Let's pull some knives up here. How do I do that? Let's go like that. And so we've got a few random knives. We've got a Benchmade bug out with some Flytanium scales and a backspacer. We've got a Tuya Strength, which is a pretty cool knife. It's integral spear point. We've got a knife that has really impressed me because this knife is an older design. It is a Concept Cryo, but this one's an S35BN orange peel titanium, and it's $121 on their website. The flipper on it is designed exceptionally well for snappy deployment, and then it's got a blade hole. I sharpened it up, feels great under a stone, and again, $121. The TRM Bulldog, which I noticed at River's Edge Cutlery, or I think it was River's Edge Cutlery, they had some in stock that are now contoured, where they're doing the G10 contoured handles, which I think is pretty slick. These are flat, but I like this knife very much. It's about the same size as the Neutron, so it's not a big knife, but it is their thickest folding knife that they've made to date. Magna cut, still very slicey. Just a really good little carry. And then I've got my Medford Infraction, one of my favorite overbuilt knives in my Medford collection. I still like my Slim Midi better because it's not as big and heavy, but I like big and heavy. And then I've got my McNeese Mac 2. Just a winner of a knife, 3.5 inch. Lamia, which was the route I went when I was flipping out between a Rosie and a Lamia, and I don't have regrets. I really like the ergonomics of this knife for me. The winner, it's in crew wear. And I've got a little Arius that I don't carry that much. It's a great little knife. Fits my hand really well. I just, for some reason, have not been carrying it as much as some of the others. And then I've got my little Hinder half track, which is a little short but thick Hinderer. Brant would be proud, with the titanium scale. Not my favorite finish color. I think this is Stonewash, not Working Man's, but Stonewash finish, which is to me kind of shiny. And then lastly, on the folder side, my crosshatch Strider S&G that Brother Scotch and Things helped me acquire. I would not have been able to get this without him and would have surely overpaid for one somewhere else. And this one was brand new for all practice. Roman M, just showing some different stuff on the table. I've got so many different knives. I could put out all imports. I could put out all, like here is probably the best value if you like small fixed blades. A Kizer Beaver in D2, D10, a little small bushcrafty knife for like $43. You can't get a servant knife right now because he's not making knives, but this is a little 3V, small, little fixie. I'm a fixie fan. And then this is a Jason Grant custom that I traded with a community member with because it was too small when they got it in really for his hands. And I traded him a bigger knife for it. But this is a little Jason Grant slicey custom knife. And then I've got a TKL. This is a Night Stalker CG, which is combat grade, which is just a little bit thicker blade stock. These are all dropping on the 15th. The Night Stalkers. They've got a CG, which is this one, a regular one, which is a little thinner, and then one called a CQC that has this top part of the blade here sharpened. So it's sharpened on two edges. And this is the defense knife for all practical purposes. But they've also going to have their Piranha, the Combatant, and one or two others. Hey, Doug Wilson, what's going on, buddy? Good to see you, man. And then the Axial knives. Alpine, which is a great, smaller, USA-made, Magna cut fixed blade. And then a couple of Italian knives that I picked up at White Mountain Knives, one of which is a Mirror 2 from Viper Knives. I really like this knife. I like these ones that are set up to carry in the pocket, even though you kind of got to hold the sheath and the knife when you pull it out, but it's easy enough to do because this isn't going to hold in your pocket if you just go to yank the knife out. And then I don't know if I showed y'all, but I ended up settling on the Ernie. I sent back the Warncliffe, which is the Alley. I'd bought one of these knives, and Justin was nice enough to send them both out so I could do a review of them and compare them. And something after cutting with both of them, something about Mersalt, what is up, channel member? Dude, I'll be here. You can go chill around the internet knowing that I will be here talking gibberish, trying to Be Shady, I did not get to check out a mini growler. Looks like a great knife. The growler was initially one of my favorite Devo knives, and then I kind of fell in love with the mash. And then my last fixie is my favorite in terms of value fixies. I say value. This is a $69 knife. This is the mini harpoon. It's a collaboration between Kizer and Maverick Customs, and I bought this on Amazon in 3V for I want to say $69. But super slicey. Great little knife. If you like pokey, slicey knives, comes with a sheath, and then not this clip. I put ulti clips on all my stuff. But that's all I've got in the knife world. Oh no, that's not all I've got. I'm carrying, thanks to a brother in the chat, I'm carrying this Evo Typhoon that I'm just in love with, the full size. I was concerned it might be a little big for me because I had a mini Tempest before, and I've seen the mini Typhoons but never handled them, but I love this knife. And then I'm carrying no fixed blade right now, but I am carrying my Devo nip slip in glow carbon. I don't carry slip joint. I carry slip joints every day in my left pocket in a slip, but I don't use slip joints that often like I used to. I will try to cut with them. And then I'm carrying this light that I really liked. Quark, who is, or not Quark, 47s, who is Prometheus Lights. I've been reaching out to them, and they finally sent me this little light. It's about a $69 light to check out. But what's unique about it is, since they're Prometheus and their lights are all customizable, they made this little imported light customizable. So none of the boards are soldered. So you can go in to little growlers. Dude, I would say do it, but I would want to buy it from you, and I don't need to be trying to snake a knife from you. How many nips do you have, B Shady? You've got the one nip that matches though, don't you? Do you have mash twos? But anyway, this light, you can buy a different tube here, put different batteries in it, make it shorter. It's got a little tail cap. It's programmable, so I can go like 8 times and then leave it on and it'll flash. And there are like 7 different settings that you can program it on. I've got it set for low, that's like moonlight, medium, high, and then if you double click it, it goes to ultra. It's a really good light for what it is. Mersault probably wouldn't like it, but it uses rechargeable batteries. I want to say they are 16650. So it uses a 16650. 6 mashes. I've got 3 mashes, B Shady, and 2 of them are I took a mash 2.5 and a mash 2.0, a black one, and took the black blade out of the bronze 2.5 and put it in my black 2.0. So I've got a totally blacked out one, and then I've got one that I call Blondie that's got a satin blade and a bronze body, and then I've got the purple carbon fiber. I sent my regular growler to Pocket Metal because I wanted him to check one out, so he's got it. I reviewed a stout. I had a pony stout. I gave it away in a giveaway. But the stout was not my favorite knife. I had the Buzz. The Buzz was my favorite of all the Devos in terms of nicest. I do also really like the Lush. I've still got it, and I've got 2 nips left. But the Lush is one of my favorites. But the Buzz was it for me. But I traded it. That's what I'm having to do now. And if any of y'all are wanting to trade knives, hit me up. There might be stuff I'll trade. There's stuff I won't trade that right now I'm really attracted to or kind of stuck on, and a lot of that's my American stuff. I do have nice knives like best Texans, Hero Axons. The list goes on and on and on of knives that I probably would trade, but I'm just not able right now to be buying the knives like I would like to be. So trading is always good. I've got a knife coming in that was supposed to be here today, but the weather slowed it up. So it's coming in on tomorrow. I was hoping to have it to show you guys. It's a trade, a fixed blade trade. I traded with Carco. Carco is the one that traded this servant knives with me. This is called a Mech Fighter in 3V. It is a sick little defensive knife. G10 handles, G10 liner. Yeah, for some reason, I talked to Lefty, I texted with Lefty after his baby came home, but I guess we've just been going in different directions. And Snot Rag, what happened to me is, and I still love several of the designs that I probably won't get rid of, but they didn't. I knew that they weren't forever knives, you know. And Lefty's one of the people that has been trying to encourage me for years to trade through more knives. And I did. I enjoyed it. I never cut with it. I carried it and flicked it. But yeah, something about, and no disrespect, because something I really like. I don't know if y'all seen the Luft Concepts fixed blade. I'm going to another page, so I can't see you for 1 second. I have a feeling it's going to be more expensive than what I would want to pay. However, it looks pretty cool. Let me share my screen. And y'all know that's a Bearded Gears company called the LTL. It's a USA made little fixie, kind of Keeps Footy Warncliffey type knife, which is good to see. And I'm really stoked to see all the stuff Shane's doing. Pogs and playing cards. I told Shane he had to cut like 2 or 3 Joke Wolves left, and I told him to hold me one. I will find a way to buy that knife from him. That's, and Snot Rag, this is the absolute truth. I don't know if y'all know Dark Gravity. He used to be on my lives. He's my brother. We used to go to Nashville. We go to Nashville show every year that I go. We'll go together. And we went to the knife show, Blade show this year together, him and his son and I. But he used to tell me when I was collecting budget knives voraciously, like Civivis, I was collecting Kizers, I was collecting CJRBs, because I always had to have something incoming. And it was the dopamine, because I'm an addict. I just haven't done, drugs or alcohol in almost 9 years. But I've still got the same propensity to want that feeling of something incoming. But that knife would come in and I would forget about it. I'd say 90% of those knives, 99% of those knives I've given away. Most of the knives that I give away on Friday nights, with the exception of just lately, have all been personal knives, just because I don't use them anymore. But what Dark Gravity taught me was, dude, don't buy a knife, 2 knives every week. Use that same money. And it's just the way it affected me at that time in my collecting. There's nothing wrong with getting a bunch of budget knives because they're fun. So I'm not saying that. I'm just saying for me, it made sense. I was like, yeah, I have wanted to hinder, or I have wanted these knives that I used to think were way out of reach, like a Brian Brown Jaeger, but it was just changing my frequency with which I was buying knives for, or when I was buying knives, how often, or whatever I was trying to say. But since I've been not buying knives, which has been a while now, I've still been able to do content with my collection because I've rediscovered it in a lot of ways. Things that I'd put in the case I hadn't carried, something else had come that was shinier, that was newer. And I realized that I've got a really blessed collection, and I wasn't appreciating it because I was always chasing the next thing. Nothing wrong with chasing the next thing. I'm just not in a position now where I can. And I appreciate knives more. even the knives I trade for, I kind of appreciate them more because before, even though I was working for them, um, it wasn't a huge stretch to get something. I've told y'all this, be shady. I was eating titanium Hinderer XM18 every day and a half, every 2 days. Now they design nice knives, but again, I agree with, for me, they're just different things that I'm looking for, I think. And for one, fixed blades have kind of, oddly enough, a knife I swore I would never have any interest in at all. I've really started to dig. I mean, a lot of these knives that I've got can be primary carries. This can sit in my right pocket and I don't have to carry a folding knife. Now, I like to carry a folding knife, so this sits in my back pocket when I'm traveling or driving around or out. Or a smaller knife if I'm carrying it as just a, enhancement to my regular carry. And that's what makes us all freaking special because we're all different. We like different stuff. We do different stuff. We come from different places. But we have similar experiences and we like similar stuff too, right?
Hi, pal. My name's Corky. Come on and be my best friend. Okay. I'll tell you stories.
Everybody needs a best friend. Yeah, I was scared of those. I didn't never went there. I say never went there. I wasn't gonna dox you, Paul, but yeah, brother Paul has been one of my best knife trading buddies. And Carco's traded a lot of fixies with me, with little fixies I wouldn't even know would exist, because he's just got such a wide understanding and collection of knives. It's amazing the stuff he's got. And then I think I put it up, but let me show y'all a knife that'll be a giveaway Friday night. But this was donated by brother Jim Miller. And to me, it's from a company that is a little sus. Not sus, but they've done some sus stuff. Hold on. I cut a lot of grief for them. But this little knife is D2 G10 Ethan Grow. I forget the number. But it's got a blade hole that you can flick it from anywhere, or you can just bar lock it. But this thing's like $27. And to me, y'all tell me if I'm wrong. To me, that doesn't look like any other knife. It's kind of unique. Is it my jam? Not necessarily, but for $27, I can tell you it's a solid knife. It's got solid steel liners with weight relief, bar lock, D2 blade that I have sharpened that is very, very sharp, and it burred up nicely. But it comes in a little basic Ethan Grow box like all their stuff does. And I'll say, even with the EF225, which is the one that looked like the Strider, that is the reason I bought two Protex, or traded for one and bought a Protex Strider and then bought a Strider, was because I experienced that knife through Ethan Grow. But when I took it apart, it was very well made. So I've not taken this one apart because I'm giving it away, but I can only imagine that it's very well made. I'll tell you something interesting about the Evo. I don't know if you saw my video the other night where I took it apart, and the only reason I did was to clean it up. And A to Z has an Evo, and his, when he's got the blade open, it rattles. Mine doesn't rattle. Well, when I took it apart, I noticed that the stock bearings that are in there, I ordered some skiffs, but the stock bearings that are in there are like the pivot's 3/16. The pivot's tiny, and the bearing interior dimension is much bigger. So the bearing has room to move around there in that channel, which is odd. I mean, the action's splendid. And in mine, I wouldn't have even noticed it had I not taken it apart to see what size bearings it needed. And I think it's 3/16, 1/16 by 22 ball. What's up, Mad Yako? Good to see you, brother. Ron Crow, they're great knives. For the money, they are good knives. The only thing that makes them a little sus is some of their designs are a little interpretive, right? What's up, Derek? For real? Good to see you, man. Welcome to Insomniac's Sit and Spin, where we sit and we talk knives, we talk lives, we kill this music. Where was it? Just make that go. Much better. Yeah, I mean, Paul, the knife does not operate sloppily at all. The only reason I took it apart was there was some crud around the pocket clip screw, and there was some crud around the back of the blade. And I'm real anal about doing every 6 months. Normally, I'll take a knife apart, clean up the blade, look for any kind of the only places I've gotten rust that I've been able to get off with a rust eraser, because it's not just surface rust, has been around my pivots. Oddly enough, I don't know why. There have been some great stuff on hey Josh, what's up? There have been some great things on Blade Bench. Some of them priced a little high, but some of them priced. I think what I always tell people, if you're looking at Blade Bench, you've got to think of the mentality when somebody's listing. They're thinking about their fees. They're trying to get back as much as they can, but that doesn't mean they won't be reasonable. I've bought several knives on Blade Bench, and I'm not the kind of guy that calls in with a low ball offer, but I always message them. And like on my Lumia, I was like, is there any way you can get closer to table price? It was only when I got it like 2 months old. And he was like, yeah. And I think he went 50 over table. I still paid more for it, but I was fine doing it. But they've always got interesting stuff here. I always check the ratings. And then before I'd pay $600, I would go out, I'd research how much this knife's worth. Because it is right now, whether you want to believe it or not, it's a buyer's market. This knife for $150 is very interesting to me. That's a Benchmade that I've kind of been interested in just because it's small, it's thin, it's pokey. But I'm not gonna, even though I'm wearing an old Benchmade t-shirt or sweatshirt. But yeah, I mean, Blade Bench has some good stuff. Again, don't ever be scared off by the asking price. Just go in if you're interested in something and go down to, where is it? Well, yeah, I'd have to log in. So if I log in, then I can message the seller. So I could go in here and I can say, hey man, would you blah, blah, blah. And then I'll get a message back. And there's a lot of wheeling and dealing you can do on Blade Bench just to try to get something more what you were planning on paying for it. Because that's where I see stuff show up. And then again, USA made blades, which I haven't bought anything there in a long time. I used to buy most of my USA knives at DLT, GP Knives, River's Edge Cutlery. DLT had the Slim Middies and S90V. That's their exclusive. That's why I got it there purposely, because I wanted S90V. I didn't know any better. Again, Mersault, I think you're exactly right. I think it's for people like me, even though I don't buy a lot on Blade Binge, but who doesn't really understand now Scotch and Things found my Strider on a Facebook group because he's always on there and he knows people. I don't know anybody. I'm that guy who, I don't know how Reddit works really. And I just would not know good from bad, even with vouchers. So for me, I like to stay with retailers or with on the secondary Blade Binge. My buddy has sold some knives for me, A to Z on eBay, knives that I could not sell on Blade Binge that I sold for $150 more on eBay, which is nuts, but it's a bigger market. But yeah, if you're in the groups and you are in the community to where you know who you're dealing with, I think that's probably the best way to go. Um, those buy sell trade groups are fantastic. Yeah, you gotta look like a chickie. Sweet, Richard. I'm not sure. Let me look at the Kizer helmet real quick. I just did a giveaway last week. Oh, I like that. Let me share the screen. $50 knife. Nitro V. I like the shape. I definitely like the deployment hole. It looks like a winner. I don't have them over here with me right now, but I've been really pleased with the Kizers I've seen this year. The fixed blades, this little beaver, which I think is 49, but then they've got a hair in Nitro V for like 69. It's a little bigger knife. G10 handle. You can get a lot of different blade finishes. But the folders are the ones I've experienced are their Mini Mystic, which is a really good knife with a clutch lock, bar lock, and then the Momo and the Mini Momo. And I'll go grab them here in just a second. It looked like a good size, Josh. I've not handled one, but I've seen Lefty's comparison of them. And for me, a lot of knives, like on the Momo is a huge knife, way too big for me. The Mini Momo is perfect. The hair's great, Richard. Give me 1 second. Let me go grab a couple more knives, and I'll be right back. Whoops. Where'd it go? There it is. Be right back. Kaplunk. Y'all just hear me bump into my mic? That was brutal. Let me plug in. All right. I don't know if y'all can still hear me. That did just whack my mic. But so the Kizer Momo is a knife that had been out before, but this is the budget version. I had never really experienced it before, and it wasn't one that necessarily I was attracted to. But upon getting it, this is the full size Momo. It's got a G10 bolster, and then what they call Damascus G10 on the handle. But it's got this super thin, slicey blade, and this thing is freaking huge. Just a little bit shorter than my 4 Max. I want to say it's 9¼ inches overall. So it'd make a great camp knife, great cooking knife, great kitchen knife. You can middle finger flick it. But then they've got a mini Momo, which is not mini to me. I cannot middle finger flick this one, but it fits my hand perfectly. It's got that same 154 cm blade. This one's got GT or aluminum and micarta. It's about the same price as this one, but look at the size difference. Whoops. So the Momo, don't let anybody fool you. This is a big knife. Just to give you even a better idea. I think I can reach it. So check this out. That's the 4 Max Elite in the Momo. So the Momo is a full-size knife. But the mini Momo is about the same size as a bug out. So here's a bug out. And there's the mini Momo. Whoops. Super slicey, great action. And then, while we've got the bug out, this is the mini Mystic. I've never seen a Mystic. I'm not familiar with the Kizer Mystic, but this is the mini Mystic. This one, they make it in some really cool colors like purple and ultim. Mine's in like gray aluminum with this clear PEI. Got a Nitro V harpoon blade with thumb studs. It's got that adjustable clutch lock, and they've got it adjusted to where it's almost to the tightest, the second to the tightest. Bless Knives, what's up? Knife Nut 69, what's up? Another good knife. And again, bug out, sized, a little bit bigger, but doesn't look anything like a bug out. So I've been impressed with a few things that Kizer sent. I love seeing them do fixed blades. I love seeing more companies do fixed blades. I think it's the winner. You got a Maverick Custom Yago? Yeah, I don't blame you. I thought about doing that because I've got a lot of knives that I need to generate cash, but I just don't want to put them up because I'm afraid that they'll sell. And I just know from my dad's regret selling guns over the years when he was younger, when I was younger, that he wished almost all of them he wished he'd held on to. Because it did take me a while to collect most of these. And again, some of the ones aren't as special because they were more impulse buys. Like that Best Tech Sin is a fantastic knife in L-Max. It's got a great hollow ground blade, super slicey. Kind of is the same place in my collection as my Vero Axon. But it's just not one that I have that personal connection with. I picked it up after Blade Show because my buddy picked up one there and I really liked it. Liked it for a month, carried it some, not much. I'll tell you what I've been looking at on Amazon, not to buy, but just because I think they're cool. These Ultrex blowback pellet pistols, CO2, that are licensed by the manufacturer. So they're using their same templates. They break down the same. This is a chunky little knife. It doesn't finger flip the way I would like it to. I wish that fuller was a little sharper. but it's got a flipper tab that's banging. Great choil. I like the way the blade's tilted. Knife Nut 69, member for 17 months. Thank you, dude. I appreciate you. Thank you, dude. I appreciate it more than you know. Uh-oh. What did I miss? Are they still out there, Snot Rag? Oh, the Lander 4 fixed blade. I've seen that. Hold on a second. Let me pull it up because I can't click on that link. Lander. Ben is what probably got me into knives as much as anything because I used to watch him and Zach on Blade HQ. That was the first channel I really keyed in on during lockdown. Whoops. These are USA made, if I'm not mistaken, right? Nope, that one's not. What a deal. Great little size. What is it? 6 inches? 5.9? Sheep's foot. I love the leather slip. I did not know this was coming out. What's it made out of? S35VN. I don't have a problem with S35VN. Be shady. 16 months. Time does fly, buddy, and we're gonna fly. Thank you, brother. So I had a little drop last week of that cat playing keyboards. That copyright struck me. That and the dude hitting the deer on the skateboard that I showed. All I have to do is go in and trim those out because I don't care. They're not part of the really show, if you want to call it a show. I just find them entertaining to share. But man, they've gotten and see, somebody has to come in. The agency, the cat video has got an agency. It took them about 24, 30 hours. But I got an email that I was sharing monetization with them unless I wanted to clip it out. And it was the cat video. So I picked up a couple of different ones. I thought this was super creepy. And I got a couple other weird ones in there. But not that damn cat. I do not have the cat playing keyboards because they're going out just snagging people on that one. Rob Tenring, what'd you get? What's got people jealous? What's got people jealous? Oh, your Lander 4 has shipped. Nice. The moon dust is the sheep's foot, right? Let me go back. Nope. Black sheep. Yeah, that's the shape. I really like that. You know what it reminds me of? And only because I've got that knife, the knife that it reminds me of is the Boker Barlow BFF. And I'll show you what a Boker Barlow BFF looks like. Boker Barlow BFF. The Boker Barlow BFF in my Carta has a similar blade shape. Hell of a lot more expensive. Comes with a little pocket dropper. Very similar to the one that the Lander shares. And the Lander being an S35 I'd like to get one of those. I like having a Kydex sheath because you could put a clip on that. But I believe I would buy. Where'd it go? Where'd the sheaths go that they were selling? Somewhere there we go. I would probably pick that up too. Just because I love to carry a knife in a sheath in my pocket, especially one that's got a clip on it. And that one's got a good clip. Reminds me of an Oak City leather clip, deep carry. But that's a great looking little knife. I'm going to keep my eye out on those. Morbid Claws, channel member, what is up? Paul Mills, ain't that a fact? I learned some stuff. I don't know if y'all were on the Honey Bucket Thursday night. Said Stevie. If you're not going to the Honey Bucket on Thursday nights with Said Stevie, that is a great, great podcast, live stream, whatever you want to call it. But you got to look out for yourself around here. Sweet. You know, Boker, that AK-1, which is one of my favorites, Amazon carries a version of that is an N690. It's a Tonto, and it's still made in Germany. Boker AK-1. And it's like $129. And I paid Black Friday for my first one because I bought one of these. It's the exact same size, uses a Kydex sheath instead of a leather, has a G10 handle instead of carbon fiber, American Tonto N690 blade instead of AWL. But really cool knife for $130. It has a lot of good reviews. I really like it. But it's still over 100. You can get a lot of really cool knives for well under 100, depending on what your use case is, what your need is. I'm telling you, this little guy for under $70, and you can get this in stonewashed with the micarta handle. It's still 3V. Is a banging little EDC knife. I wouldn't say it's a prying knife. Hey, Douglas Wagner, how are you, buddy? I wouldn't say it's a horizontal pry width knife, but it's definitely a great slicer, a great cutter. Whether you want to enhance your carry or carry it instead of your folder. And I want to say, let's see how much it is. I want to say it's $69. You can get the full size for less expensive because it's D2 mini harpoon. So let's share this. And I'm spoiled because I'm an Amazon Prime member and I can get shit really quick. 69 even. Got 471, 4.5 stars. They also make it in that finish for $59, but they didn't get it to me. Oh, that's a full size. Hold on. Nope. That is the mini. So you can jump up to the full size in D2 and it's $59. But it's about an 8.5 inch knife, I want to say, where it is 7 3/4 as opposed to 6.49. And again, I kind of like that one better, but they couldn't tell me how quickly they could get it to me. I'm an immediate gratification guy. Y'all, let's go subscribe to Blessed Knives. I'm going to pull. Hold on. Whoops. And if y'all go to my channel, Blessed Knives is one of the pages that I've got that I try to tell people to go follow because it's such good contact. Where the hell are you, Donnie? I see you in videos. Channel. Oh, I said blessed. I didn't go bless. All right. Knife Junkie, Knife Junkie. Donnie, we got to work on your SEO, brother. I got to help you out. Hold on, see if it. All right. So that got me to the page. Let's do this. Boom. Copy that. Drop that in there. Be Shady, I need a newt, but I need a job. That's what Javon needs. No, but y'all go subscribe to Donnie. Check him out on Instagram. That's where I keep up with a lot of his stuff. I'll drop that in there. He always comes up right at the top. And here is Brother Donnie's Instagram. But I'll wait for you guys to go check him out on YouTube. Here's what his YouTube page looks like. So if I was going to share it, if you like knife content, you can see the struggle that was making a handcrafted precision knife. And there's a great video in there with him making a lock bar insert that I found fascinating. But yeah, Blessed Knives, only 213 subscribers, chronically unsubscribed to. All of us go subscribe to him. Give him some love. Pretty soon he'll be holding live streams, and you know that'll get out of hand. Like I jokingly say, join his channel while it's still there. So what's everybody been watching? What's everybody onto? What's everybody wanting? Ripley's are sweet. I saw Scotch and Things got in another Medford. A Medford I wasn't that sure that I'd seen before. And I watched part of it and fell asleep, and I need to go back. It is overrated. It's not rag. I totally agree. And I've done the whole corporate ladder climbing thing, and I'm not opposed to getting a job that pays me a whole lot less. What's up, Mark Parks? Channel member? I'd rather consult with somebody or do ad tech remotely, but I haven't really looked. I've just kind of been sucking myself dry. But hey, I'm happy to be. That's why Tuesday nights are so cool, because I can stay up late. As y'all know, my nights and days have kind of flipped a little bit. Have I told y'all about Very Good Knife Company? Are y'all familiar with Very Good Knife Company? This guy makes some of the sickest grinds for fixed blades. He used to work for his dad, and they had a big nasty. But check out the grinds on some of these knives. My buddy picked up a flat ground hawk that I checked out. Maybe it was a mini hawk, or it was a hawk. I think it was a hawk. And then my buddy Lee sent me to review my favorite, this Tradition Junior. Look at the hollow on this. And the plunge grinds are so straight. You got 80 CRV or Nitro V. And these got knives really for all type of purposes. And I don't know what purposes knives are for, but I know He's got a linesman knife. He's got a beefy survival knife. He's got this little mosquito, which is even too small for me. A roughneck, a lineman, which I think this is for like electricians or something. A lineman XL, splicer. But if you haven't checked out Very Good Knife Company, they just moved out of their childhood home where they were making knives out in the back in the garage. Because he and dad had a falling out and they had to find another space. They were down for about 2 weeks, but he's making knives again. He's also got a YouTube channel, I think. Let me see. Very Good Knife Co. There he is. And this guy is a young dude, but he's been grinding knives for about 12 years for his dad. And I didn't talk to him. I talked to his wife when I called just to comment on how nice I thought the knife was that I reviewed. And I said, "What kind of knives does her dad make?" And she goes, "Well, they're kind of jewelry. They're kind of like pocket jewelry knives." And I was like, "Well, what kind of stores does he sell them in?" She was like, "He sells them in like 4 boutiques, one in Aspen, one in Tahoe." And she named off like really high end. And I was like, so they're thousands of dollars. She goes, 5 figures usually. So he was grinding the blades on those type of knives that I would have no idea of what they were. And now he's making cool fixed blades. Very, very cool fixed blade. I'll tell you who's kicking it is Shane. Shane is knocking it down. His knives are getting better with every grind. I can't wait to get Little Joke Wolf. Yeah, I think she said like 12 to 15, but the handles, the dad would spend all the time on the handles. So the handles, they were folders. What's up, Toyotas and Tools? Were jeweled and probably had all kinds of crazy bone. God knows what else on them, right? The triaxis to drop. What's the triaxis? Triaxis knife. Oh, that's a good looking knife. That reminds me, I get Alamut cutlery vibes. Is this it? I could have easily spelled it wrong. That's a sexy looking little knife. That's one thing I saw on Blade Binge today was an Olamic, and I had never been excited about Olamics until I hung out with my buddy A to Z's Olamic. Let's see if this one's still in stock. And I'll show you a picture of my buddies, but let me just go Olamic. It might have already sold. I saw it this afternoon. There it is. Now, it's not my colorway, but it is S90V, and it is the Whippersnapper. I'm not crazy about the handle. But that's a great little knife. And my buddy, stop sharing that real quick. Let me share this real quick. Scroll down just a bit. Where's that? There it is. Boom. Stop that. And I'm going to share this. This is my buddy's. Look at the carbon fiber on this Whippersnapper with damn steel. Floating back spacer. That is the sexiest, most comfortable in my hand little knife. The choil fits perfect. Lock bar access is money. Front flippers money, even though I hate front flippers and I never use it. That is a gorgeous, gorgeous little knife. Anywho, bless, they're great knives, dude. Addicted to Blaze too. What's up? I had again, I'd seen them. I think I'd even gone by with my buddy at Blade Show and checked a couple out, and it just didn't do much to me until I hung out with his for about 3 or 4 days. The same thing happened with a couple of knives he let me use that I'd already ruled out, and the Evo became one I had to get that I swore was too big for me that I didn't need. Um, and then brother Dark Gravity had me carry. This was the week of Blade Show 2022. This little Hinderer 3-inch Skinner, because I didn't really see much to it. You know, I didn't really like it. He was like, just carry it, see what you think. This is a smaller version of the Hinderers, but I fell in love with it. I bought it from him. He probably knew I would. Dude, they're beautiful. And are they made in US or Canada? I think they're made in the US, aren't they? That shows how ignorant I am. Let me see where Olamic. Let me just Google that shit. Hold on. Olamic. Question mark. Vista, California. What's happening to the Blaze 2? I've got, and I try to say, and I got this from Bees, and it doesn't help anybody, but my hand is 3.5 inches across. It's considered a medium to large size hand, but for most of my knife buddies, it's a smaller hand. Now, for my little size, it's a pretty big hand. But this is a regular bug out. I always use the bug out and the pair of 2 and a Sharpie as a size comparison. I think so. It says when I Googled where are they made, I always do it as a question, as a long-term search, because Google will pull up their little AI thing at the top, and it says it's made in Visalia, California, with some parts machined in Italy. And their fixed blades are made in Russia, where they forge their own Damascus. But so mid-techs do have some Italy parts. And I don't have a problem with that. You know, I mean, I think if you can get a good knife made in the States, that's awesome. If you're getting, and I don't know if it's always been like that, Donnie. That's just what it says now. And that's just when I typed in where are they made. So I didn't even go to their website and read that. I just read it off of the little, I'll show you where I read it. I don't want to be giving false information. All I'm doing is regurgitating this little AI overview. So if we go to their about section, probably going to tell us the same thing. Hermans are made very well. They have a very unique. Derek, I have had good luck. The one that everybody hated on was the Biblio. I still got my Biblio. It's an M390. It was one that was supposedly real soft, and I sharpened it. It burred up great, felt great under a stone. It's held an edge. Now, do I cut through hundreds of feet of cardboard with it? No. But it didn't feel crappy, and I felt crappy steel under a stone. And I think Italian knives are notoriously heat treated, or were notoriously heat treated low. But I would think, like any other capitalistic market, they're going to adjust to try to please their buyer, right? Especially after Anzo walked out, a Giant Mouse said, y'all can have this shit. I've got a bunch. I've got a Giant Mouse in Vandis, a Giant Mouse Grand. I've got a Giant Mouse Atelier in M390 or LMAX. I've got a Giant Mouse Jutland, which I really like, in LMAX. I've got the Ace Biblio. What else do I have? Paul, don't you love the Sting? I mean, that knife has the most tasteful sound. Just a ding. Now, I don't remember the one that A to Z had that I reviewed. It was not the Sting. I think I did review a Sting though. Hold on. I'm just curious. See if they'll let me search my channel. Go Herman. And if y'all ever get crazy and go buy a Herman and you buy one at Polish Custom Knives, use my link. It would be so greatly appreciated. So the one I reviewed, this is the Sting. Okay, that's the second one. The first one was the Ishtar. So the Ishtar is the one that my buddy bought on the secondary. It's a bigger knife. And Paul, did you send me the Sting to check out? I think Paul might have sent me the Sting to check out. But they're, I mean, just the back spacer, the attention to detail on these knives. And that's just a sleek, the back. Whoop, whoop. It's got proudly made in Poland on the inside of the back spacer. Paul, is that yours, buddy? You're awesome, dude. I thought you did. I just can. My brain is so defunct. But listen to that. Hold on. It fires out. Whether I light switch it, I can't fail it, guys. Not even close. Or if I push button it, I mean, not only does it fly open, but it tings, and you can feel it vibrate, that carbide coated stop pin. Badass little knife. That is Herman. Let me try that one. Oh. All right, clicking it on my iPad. No, that is good looking. I'll show you. I went to Smoky Mountain Knife Works back when I first got into slip joints. Modern. Barlow. This is a link. And this is a great shape. I love that it's in Nitro V. I think that is a sexy little knife. I think the price is right on it. Front flipper. I approve. They do. And I mean, let's go to, some of them are just unbelievably priced out of the world. I mean, they're just like so ornate, so hand carved. So if you go in here and you go makers, Bartosa Herman. Like, look at this mantis. Whoops. It's not going to show it. It's only showing the ones that are available. So the micro Sting's probably too small. The Sting's a great size. That one's got a, that's a lefty with some kind of crystallized finish. Slims starting about 730. Look at that one for 59. I mean, they've got some beautiful knives. Again, nothing that I would ever be able to reach for, but Joe Isabella, channel member, what's up, brother? I've got some of my favorite Joe Isabella jank on the table tonight. My eyeball, even though I don't have the camera on it. Ron Dobbins, what's up, brother? Paul, your sounds, that's the whole thing. It doesn't matter if it's fancy. I've handled a S5 from Michael Zeba, where the one I bought from Dark Gravity is fancy, but it doesn't feel any better than a regular S5 that I could have gotten for 400 less. So normally I never go for flashy. I've got one knife I traded for with Dark Gravity, a bulldozer, a concept bulldozer that's got a Timascus clip. I think that's the only Timascus I've got because this is anode. That's not Timascus. But this is a cool knife. This is a knife I did not know existed till Dave sent it to me to check out. It's the Tuya Strength. It's got a flipper tab. It's got a front flipper. Got thumb studs. You can reverse flick it. And it's an integral. DLC M390. It is an absolute banger. And I use Kyle Coonley's method of taping it off with that captain tape and sharpened it. Because it's a thicker grind. It's kind of like you can see that wedge there, but I didn't bring my paper over here. I cut a bunch of paper so I'd have it. And I left it. Oh, if I get up in a second. What's up, Jesse? I don't smell it, Mad Yako, but I got the 3M. I got two sizes, and I don't think I got the right sizes. And what I need to ask Kyle, I don't know how he keeps it so straight close to the bevel. Because the goal is to cover your DLC area so that your slurry, when you're either cutting down your bevel or keeping your factory bevel, doesn't get up under the blade and scratch it. But I haven't, and again, I can't hear very well because I've got tinnitus because I stood in front of an amp for so many years. And I don't smell very well either. But I've never noticed it. I do like it. I still like on my spine of my knife because it seems like I put it on my clamps on my TS Prof. And it seems like if I also put it on the spine, it makes it kind of slippy. You know, that's a good question. I really don't think that it will because there's so many older knives that have had blade stops made out of tie with the body. So which knife, like this one, the Strider has those little blade stops, but I don't really think they would. It would make sense that it's softer, but I would think you'd have to whack it a bunch of times. Dan Caraher. I've never thought of it, but I don't think of a lot because I'm an idiot. But I've never seen it as being a negative. Caraher. Let's see. Oh. See, so many people are on such a different level. Again, another maker I did not even know existed. It looks like he does some production models too. What scares me, I shouldn't be scared of. I'm not a big recurve fan. those are beautiful knives. And I could probably sharpen certain recurves. Nice, crispy. White grape. See, that's one thing. Anytime I use tobacco paper, I guess because I used to be a smoker, it makes it too harsh for me. I would much rather go rice. But that's just my weirdness. And I mean,
It's Shenanigans!
You can call me.
weird. Y'all know what the nannerpuss is from? Thank you, Ron. Yeah, if y'all want to, hit the thumbs up, thumbs down. I don't know if it matters, but I appreciate it. Say stuff like that may cause an issue and shit. Yeah, I would think on a quality knife, probably not a problem. Now, I have no doubt that titanium, for example, this concept, this $121, my reptile brain thinks that this is probably a softer, lower grade of titanium than on my Praetorian. Not my Praetorian, my infraction. Where this was probably harder because it does have the stops where that S35's clacking into it. You can't hear me, Ron? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? That's the second time people hadn't heard me. Try that. Let's turn the music off. Can you hear me now? So much of it's where I put my freaking mouth. Because if I go over here, you can't hear shit. Sweet. No, I'm sitting here. My nose is running like a son of a bitch. I live with a cat, and I've got a stranger cat that's kind of adopted me, even though he's got his own home, but I have better food. So he comes down here, and he absolutely hates my cat, and my cat hates him. So, or her. She's definitely a her. She's got the most pronounced female anatomy of any cat I've ever seen. You could throw a football in there from 10 yards. And I'm not good with the football. How am I missing the points? I wait till I get down and see that somebody made a point. I gotta go. Oh, they are, dude. Some people, and again, I'm not gonna judge anybody, but some people hate cats big time. To me, cats are like little predators, and I can understand that. And I've got neighbors that don't like the fact that Tippy goes outside. She's an inside outside cat, even though she spends most of her time inside. And she doesn't go nuts on animals, but she's a predator. Yeah, if I could probably tweak this mic, but it's an XLR mic, so I've got to kind of stay close to it. If I just would focus on mic placement, which I don't, because my brain can't even make a sentence most times, because I forget what is it, subject and predicate. I forget the predicate before I finish the subject. I think that would be awesome. I think if Donnie just set up a phone and just grinded some knives or did some stuff like he does on his shorts, unless it takes away, because I know for some people, for me, That's why I have such a hard time doing my members only little videos, because I'm just talking to myself in a weird perspective when I'm used to talking down to a knife. And I want to do front facing when I do those. But I can see how trying to film yourself while you're trying to work could make it harder to work too. Knife nut facts. And I'll show you real quickly. My mom has adopted a little feral cat, and he's been around now a little over a month, and he's gotten where he sleeps with her, but he still doesn't want you fucking with him, right? He's kind of like a little predator, and he'll chase you around. So he's super, super fast. He's like 7 months old. Let me find this little bastard. Now, he made my nose bleed, and he does it. He's wanting to play, but he doesn't know how to play because he's feral. He is an asshole. He thinks he owns the place. He doesn't share his toys. He always gives you those kind of hateful looks, and he will make you bleed. And he looks innocent and shit, but he's not. His name's Cooper. Cooper's gangster. Maine Coons are beautiful. Miss Chatter. Tip tip. Yeah, Tippy's gotten real clingy. Tippy's older though. I want to say Tippy's probably pushing 10. Siamese are beautiful. All mine have been kind of haphazard cats. So my mom's got another cat. She didn't have it, but I saw it walking around her house, this white and black cat. Real weird pattern cat, but she's been putting food out on her porch, and the food's gone every morning. So I think she's got one hanging out too. Les Knives, we'll get you biz, brother. You get one finished, send it to me. I'll get it back to you in 3 or 4 days, because all I do is show it off. Donnie's good on any live stream. Or he'll go really, really nuts. Get your channel banned. I've only had little copyright things, and I've had like, what was it that I've had several of my live streams that get demonetized for content, like either too much cussing or talking about stuff, and I always appeal those. And the scam there is it takes them about 6 days to turn it over. I've had all but one get turned over back to where it was monetized. But the problem is everybody that's watched that live stream watched it while it was good, Maddie. You sit there, you do you, buddy. I'm going to find this badass cat, and I'll probably get a strike, but this is a good one here. If I can find it. I think this is it. Hold on. No, that's not it. Damn it. That's not it. Is this it? No, that's not it. I'm not showing any of their stuff. You know, that's the bad thing. All these wilderness. Let me get to where it gets close. So I'm only showing a bit of it. The part that only we want to see. Let's go right there. Ooh, that's a little too close. Let's go back. Go back. All right. So I'm going to make this transformative, even though I never fight these. So to make it transformative, I'm going to show it. I'm going to talk about it. So you guys see him. See that big kitty cat? Everybody sees the big kitty cat, right? Don't blink. So, big kitty cat, they say cats don't like water. He just dove in a muddy river. What's he doing that for? Because he's a big kitty cat. And I want you to see, because I always said, if you were going to have an animal take you out, what would it be? Big cats grab you right at the neck, where bears will just start eating you. Look at that massive bastard. That beautiful bastard. Anyway, let's do this. Let's go. Now, this guy's pretty impressive. Uh-oh. I don't want any music. Turn that shit off. All right. Check this out real quick. Then we'll get off this. I'll quit doing this. But this is a cat. Not a dog. It's a cat. It's pushing, turning, and fucking shredding. Like a boss. Favorites are cats. There's one that wears a GoPro. Have y'all seen this guy? This is the last time I'll share. Then we're going to be back to what we're doing. But this guy, I forget who it is. I'll tell you. You can follow him if you want to. I follow him on Instagram, Florida Doll and Stitch. So this cat is a badass, and he wears GoPro, and he keeps all the other cats away from his fucking house. Check this out. If you think cats aren't on their shit, so that goes on, and he's about to catch it. But yeah, it's probably one of the best. That's a real one there. Cats are badasses. I'm a fan. I'm a fan. Even though my nose is running like a sieve. Todd Carr, what's up, brother? Dude, I love it. And bulldogs, my brother has English bulldogs, and I've got like a bunch of skateboards because I'm a skateboarder, and I gave him this real wide board, and he couldn't get any of his to get into it. But I love seeing dogs on skateboards. Have you seen the dogs that ride the one wheels that actually go out, get on them? And I have seen the skating ones going down the stairs. It's just unbelievable. Check this shit out. Stop that. Let's share it. But this doesn't show him getting on it. I don't know if y'all have ever ridden a one wheel, but you lean on it to go forward. You go backwards to stop. He's about to chase a squirrel. There's a squirrel over there. But he has to lean forward to go forward. It'll go about 18 miles per hour. But Grayson's a banger. You find him where he steps on it. There goes Grayson. But the little guy that skateboards, this little dude is the one I like. Whoop, whoop, chair. Check this little banger out. I would so eat it. And he can turn. You go. Fearless little bastard. I love it. I love it. And they have so much fun. I know I'll get struck on this one. I'm not even going to play it because it's the dodo. But some dogs are just keen on them, you know? Check this dude out. Check this out. Oh, that's when they went out and bless his heart. Yeah, he's the one that rested in peace. All his buddies surfed out. And sad. All right, we'll get off that. My brain will stay there. Jesse Mosewood. You know, that's the difference. I always tell people kind of jokingly. Hold on 1 second. I'll be right back. So if I had Ashley still, my dog, my German Shepherd, and Tippy, and I passed away and nobody found me, Tippy would probably start consuming me before she ran out of food. Ashley, in a lot of cases, would starve to death. Maybe not starve to death, but she'd take a lot longer. I'll show you one more. Have you all seen the dolphin, the porpoise dog friendship? Dog's porpoise. I don't want the movie. There's a movie about it. That's not what I want. I want dog and porpoise. Whoops. It would be nice if I could spell. Dog and I'm here, guys. I'm just in porpoise. See if that pulls it up. Where's the one that jumps off the dock? That's the one I want to see. All right. I can't find it because it keeps pulling off. This is it. All right. So check out this little dude. This little non-assuming dude right here. He's waiting for his friend. He sees his friend. Watch this. There he is. There's my buddy. So these guys allegedly play every day. I mean, they've got a PAL ship. I think that's too cool. Too cool. I love seeing different animals jive. He's starting to get smart now where he's going to come up. Now he lost him. But yeah, good stuff. Good stuff. But you got to be careful when you're in the water. Where'd it go? Where'd it go?
I tell you, fella!
I lost my Batman with the shark because I wanted to have this one. Doug, that's awesome, dude. That is awesome. Dogs are, I mean, again, I think dogs are the best. Even though I don't have one anymore, I miss her dearly. She was a rock star. Whoops. I'm fucking with stuff back here. And it's going to cost me trouble. Do this. Let's go there. There. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Continue. I hate it when my stuff doesn't work. It can be quite frustrating. Paul got a sweet knife in. I'm sure he's got more than one. That's serious pressure, Josh. We're supposed to get more snow down here. I'm in the south. But I want to say end of the weekend or something. Snot Rag's not going to dox himself. What in the fricky? All right. I'm having technical difficulties. Request cannot be completed because you have exceeded your... What? All right. I'm not going to pay attention to that. That weirdness. What's it doing? What's it doing? All right. My stream didn't get shut down. Humphrey, I've been planning to do a video of our little knife store here. It's very unique because the guy's one of the oldest Benchmade dealers in Alabama. And he has a lot of people that trade Benchmades with him that they just keep as safe queens and then come back and trade it for a newer one 20 years later. And he gets some awesome ones. Some awesome Benchmades. And he gets, if you like folding knives, he buys a lot of estate knives, cases, old cases. He's probably got, God, I would say, probably one of the biggest collections in the state. And what's funny is his name's John. And I started talking to him and asked him how he got into the knife store. And he goes, well, when you collect and you get to where you don't have room in your house to keep your collection, the next, logical steps to open a knife store. I thought that was pretty funny. And his dad had had a knife store before him, so it seems to be something that they'd done in the family. I used to consider Indian style, and then I don't know if y'all remember the Nintendo Wii. It had a little yoga class in it, and when my daughter was like 7, we would do yoga. I wish I still had that because I actually got to where I was kind of limber because you ease into it. Guys, give me one. Lean back. Donnie's always got his lean back on. There was Wii Yoga. There absolutely was. It was I think it came with let's see. Wii Fit. Wii Fit Plus, and I had the balance board too. So you could get the game, which was called Wii Fit, which had a lot of different stuff, but the key was getting this yoga pad, this balance board. Whoops. Share screen. So this balance board, I don't have a picture of it. Is that sharing? Nope. Share screen. So you can sit on it. You can ski. Where's the yoga? There you go. I look like an idiot, but I would do yoga on that thing. Anyway, when I got divorced, I left that at the crib. I took my guitars, my clothes. I love Tiger Woods. I liked Wii Bowling. Yeah, Paul, and those are I'm sure he got those from what's that place called? Where just a little bit of Loctite will keep those things on there. I'll tell you what I got that I use. And I'll use it with a little piece of leather. I've got some of these adjustable Nipex pliers that are great. They're even thin enough that I can go inside of a Spyderco and I could hold that standoff. Whoop, let me make it a little bigger. My demonstration is not working because I can't get my jaws open just right. These are great little pliers. They're not cheap, but they're fantastic for getting thumb studs off, getting thumb studs on. If you get a screw that gets stuck in a standoff, I've used this countless times to get it out, especially when they're Loctited. And then the other thing I highly recommend, if you ever do Benchmade scale swaps, is a Benchmade pivot tool. Justin OCD for EDC also sells some 3D printed ones, but they allow you to put on a scale on one side, go to the other side, push your pivot out with this. It keeps everything in line. You can put the other scale on and then push the pivot right back in. Super cool little invention.
I used to use a Q-tip. It was much more of a pain in the ass. Yeah, Paul, I just get a little bit of Loctite. I don't think they'll come loose on you if you just get a little bit in there. That's a gorgeous looking knife, though. It was my fault, Derek. I just wasn't as happy of a hostage as I should have been. I should have been a happier hostage. And I was dealing with that whole addiction thing too. Buddy, I've got some Vibratite I can send you. I don't have any Loctite because the Loctite I use, and I swear by it because it's lasted me forever, is this stick that I got off Amazon. But I've got a little thing that hadn't even been opened of Vibratite, which is what KPL recommends. It's blue. It's a little bit more liquid, where this is just a stick like glue. Hold on a second. I think it's right here. Paul Mills, shoot me a text after the live, and I will send you out this Vibratite. I got this from KPL, and like I say, I haven't needed to use it. Lefty swears by it. He likes it better than Loctite. What's up, Brent? But Paul, I'll send it out to you, dude. It's just taking up dust here. Probably my favorite USA knife. I don't know why I like it better than the Rosie for me, but I love the Rosie too. Don't get me wrong. I'm getting ready to review the Rosie XL and compare it to a Rosie, which is stunning because the Rosie XL and the Rosie are as different in size. This is the Rosie XL. This is a Rosie. So there's plenty of room for a Rosie L in between the two. I think we all, as different as we are, have so much. I went to the Blade HQ showroom last week. They have pretty sweet. Nice, Rob. Did you bump into Jared when you were there? Jared and Kara were there. I don't know when, but his videos have been coming out from there. Yep, Ron Crow left to use super glue, and he swears by super glue. Me personally, I'm not a super glue guy. Now on thumb studs, I wouldn't be opposed to it, but I would rather use something that I could, with a little heat, get off. That's the blue, so it's not the. Yeah, Vibratite thread locker. Yeah, the oil tolerant. That's what makes this one special. That's why Lefty liked it. So your KPL, which they make this or send it out with their stuff, doesn't break it down. Oil doesn't. I'd love to go to their showroom. I've been by Smoky Mountain Knives, but I didn't stop because we were kind of in a rush. He does use unmentionables. I used to love his disassembly videos. I would sit there and scream at the screen when he'd be looking for a bearing or something, and I would see it, and he'd put the knife together without it. I'd be like, no. Donnie, you don't need to use lube if you're using your washers like you are, dude. The tolerances are so good. Most of us probably don't need to use lube. I've just gotten into the habit when I take stuff apart, I'll lube it up. And it probably leads to some of that corrosion I get around my pivot from time to time. Derek, unless you've got a super large hand, because my buddy and Paul sold him his first Rosie, but he's got a huge hand. He's a big guy, a little bit shorter than Maddie, but not a lot. And he likes the regular Rosie. The XL is even big in his hands. And when I bring it to do the review on it, take care, Ron. We'll probably be here, buddy. There's no telling. There is no telling. If the crew wants to hang, I am all about it. I wonder why this fucking thing is giving me grief. Question, because you exceeded your. What do you mean by that? What do you mean by that? I'm reading to myself, kids, and seeing what this thing's saying. All right. So. Now, what are you going to tell me? All right. Yeah, I don't know what the fuck it's doing. But I'm not going to worry about it. Whoops. Sorry, guys. I'm stuck on this back page doing some untoward shit that I don't need to be doing. All right, I'm closing that, closing that, closing that. Coming back to y'all. Hi. Take care, Ron. If you can't sleep, buddy, come back. Derek, you're not a short guy. I'm about 5'6". And the longest knife I've got, I keep right here. Got to be careful not to cut myself. Make myself big. My buddy, who I used to play guitar with, saw my little knives and ordered me this big bitch. This is a Big Boy Bowie from Silver Stag. I want to say it's 10 inches, 10-inch blade. There's a lot to be said for a long knife. Not that I'd ever carry it, but it is a big ass. I saw a video the other day on YouTube of some guy who was just laying down throwing knives. He would kick them up and then he would kick the knife while it was in the air and send it into the target without sticking it to his foot. It was amazing. I haven't seen Shane, but Shane might have worked. He might be heat treating. He may even be live. Let me check the YouTubes, see if Shane's working. I'll stream him. We'll snipe him. We will snipe him. No. I'm sure he's probably sleeping. He's probably not like me and slept most of the day today. I have not seen Brother Shane. But like I say, I'm sure his heat treat process, it sounds like it makes for 11-hour days. So I wouldn't doubt if he's taking it easy. But you never know. Shane pops in at strange times. There is. Yeah, that'll break you up. Bless, I bet. I mean, to go through all the steps. Derek, I'm freaked out a little bit because I've been a lot more, I guess you'd call it stationary the last year, and I've got a hip that is starting to give me problems. And I did a lot of contortionist shit when I was younger, wrestling wise. A lot of hyperextensions, a lot of pointers, hip pointers. And that's the last thing I need is a hip replacement right now. Keep treating something that Shane makes it sound like once you get your bearings, it kind of becomes easier, but it's so above me. Now, bless, they've come a long way with discs, but anything like I don't have any medical insurance right now, so anything like that is just out of the question. Yeah, no doubt, Richard. I mean, at some point, you've got to say, I'm just going to have to suck it up. Shane. An edgy American could be asleep on the couch listening to us. You never know. No doubt, bless. I had it through my ex, and then I had it when I was with Spectrum. Never used it. You know, I'm sure I'll break an arm now that I don't have it. No, it kind of just grinds a little bit. It kind of like feels like it's a hip pointer. It just feels like there's not as much meat between my ball and my joint as there should be. Yeah, that's what Shane says. It's got a it's just like following the recipe, right? Bless, I'm trying to transition into a consultant job. I've just got to get the right people. Yeah, I know, Derek. And the way I look at it, it's just, I've dealt with, because again, my body got broken up for so many years, just pain. And then when I kicked narcotics about 10 years ago, it's just one of those things that sucks, you know, but I would go back. Before having surgery, I would probably go to a pain clinic if it got worse. Like right now, I can deal with it because I can deal with being uncomfortable. And I find the more mobile that I am, the better that it is. So I try to walk at least around the block every day. I'm nervous to skate because I'm afraid I'll break something, even though I never have before, knock on wood. I've heard that. And I've heard there's a lot of really painful physical therapy, and I'm sure the incisions have gotten much more smaller. Yeah, that's true, Paul Mills. You can get like prednisone shots or cortisone shots, and that's probably the route I'd go. I mean, the problem is, if you don't have insurance, you'll get those options. If you've got insurance, they're going to push surgeries on you. That's true, Derek. I think I'd rather go with the shots than the surgery. Because again, for me to go back to opiates, I would have to make a conscious decision that I was never going to not be on them again, because I swore that I'd never go through that bullshit again, because I did it all on my own. I did it without going to get someone. I didn't go to detox or anything like that. Oh man. Dude, I hope you get relief. And I hope mine's something else. I'm sure I'm just getting older. And if I was more active, I'd probably feel it more. Yeah, I've heard, that's why, and I know hip surgery is different than back surgery, but I know back surgery is one of those that's real risky, right? That so many people it works great for, so many people it works badly for, makes it worse. Because everybody's body accepts and rejects the titanium or the discs differently. But yeah, if the shots don't work, the most important thing is I don't think anybody should be in pain. And what sucks is there are barriers to entry of pain relief. I might be flying to Turkey. Yeah, Paul, that's what I've heard are very, very risky. True, Derek. And that's the whole thing. I think if I was like prescribed 3 a day, I would take 3 a day. I know now I would have to know that I was going to be on a regimen, because if they were going to say, no, we're going to do it for 6 months and then you're going to be weaning again, I'm not going down that road again. I'd rather just stay a little bit in pain. I'll tell you, kratom powder works wonders for pain relief. No doubt. And that's what starts so many people on that road are medical surgeries, misprescribing, just so many. I've seen so many sketchy stuff just here in North Alabama. When I was first diagnosed with adult ADHD, my psychologist sent me to, because I didn't have a psychiatrist at the time, my psychologist sent me to this doctor to get Adderall prescribed to me. And I'd go in. It was weird because I had to pee every time, which seems strange. I was sober at the time, and I'd go in there and I'd wait, and there'd always be just sketchy people in the waiting room, right? And the doctor was kind of strange, but he was, normal, seemed like a normal guy. He always wore a Beatles shirt. Well, one day I went by there for my appointment, and the place was closed up. It'd been busted, raided by the feds and the DEA. And that doctor lived in this really rich part of North Alabama, the city I'm in. And he had like 3 people OD at his house. They didn't die, but the ambulances had come to his house like in the last few months, like 3 times. He was into all kinds of crazy shit. Yeah, they call it practicing, right? They practice medicine. I had my wisdom teeth out. That was it. I've never had surgery per se. I had my knee drained. But I don't think anybody should be in pain. I think that just sucks. That's true, Derek. And I think a lot of those specialists are just there to keep people taking their meds. Agree. And Richard, I don't know if maybe it was always like that. I know that insurance has made it a lot more sketch. Does it hurt all the time, Derek? So like you constantly have pain from it? I mean, it sounds so damn invasive. And then you think of the healing that has to happen around it. And then the fact that you've got a foreign object in your femur. That's exactly right, Derek. When I was in college, a lot of people that I was in school with went on to be pharmaceutical reps, which seemed like a great job at the time. And a lot of them weren't selling narcotics, but some of them were. And the way that they go in and wine and dine doctors and get the relationships, just like I did in advertising to sell medication, to me is sketchy. I mean, it's a conflict of interest. No, I don't think they're dumb at all. I think they're smart, kind of like a fox in a way. And I think you've got great doctors and you've got some that have realized that the system has made it a lot harder for them to make the type of living that they used to make. They're all getting corporatized now. I take my dad to the doctor a couple times a month, and he goes to one of these VIP doctors, and I talk to Dr. Moody all the time. And it's just not, it used to be you went to medical school, you worked in the hospital, you got to practice, and then you were kind of set because you had your practice, you were making money. And now, from what I hear, it's a lot harder for them to get bills from insurance companies paid and stuff like that. Yeah, they're nickeled and dimed to death, Mersalt. And Derek, that's why we research them. Same with attorneys. They say it's practicing law because you can get attorneys of various skill levels, right? And with attorneys, it's typically based on their being well read in the law, where with physicians and surgeons, you would think it's from learning from their mistakes, unfortunately, or learning from their successes. My daughter used to have a little best buddy here, and his dad is an amazing heart surgeon, sought out, highly sought out, and he's just a whiz. I mean, he's a younger guy, but he's evidently very talented with his hands. Because I think you've got to have the skill, like you do grinding knives, plus the knowledge, right? Everybody can go to med school and learn, but to be able to actually apply that in the human body and work on such vital organs with a great success rate. Yeah, very specialized. I think it's changed the field. I mean, I'm not, or don't know anybody directly in the field that I communicate with, but I know Dr. Moody had always been private, and they've been bought up by a big corporation. They almost had to. No, I just meant, Mersalt, that you can go to medical school, everybody can learn and graduate, but some surgeons are going to be better applying with their hands, have better control over their hands than some that learned and got the same degree. I'm thinking some people grind knives really, really great. Some people not as great. And they might have the same amount of experience, but they just don't have the same dexterity, is all I meant by that. I think that's where I'm lucky, is I'm compact. I'm slim and compact. So I don't feel like I'm carrying a lot of weight. So maybe I can keep on keeping on a little bit longer. Sorry, guys. My nose is just pouring some snot. They're terrible. I mean, and I think even if you go into it with an idealistic view, I think you would see very soon after working in the field that you were not being objective in what you're doing. Me neither, Josh. Huge conflict of interest. Huge conflict of interest. And again, I'm one of those, and I'm not proud of it, but I only go to doctors when I'm deathly freaking ill. T-Fetch. What's up, brother? That's true. And you just have to, what's so wild is you just have to listen to where all the ads are placed. So you listen where these weird prescription ads that you don't even know why they're on the radio or on the TV show. And all you hear, all I ever pick up on are all the side effects that they read real fast at the end. But those are sponsoring most of our media. Most of our news is sponsored by Big Pharma. And it's right there in the credits. Yeah, I would always say, I'm personally not convinced that surgery is always the answer. And it's not that I don't trust doctors. That's true, Richard. I mean, it's all drug commercials. And drugs, even non-addictive drugs like I take for depression and stuff like that, are not good substances. And there's one med that my psychiatrist makes me take because not only is it a like mild antidepressant, but she says I need to take it to keep from relapsing, which to me is a sales pitch because it's not cheap. They're the worst. I was prescribed those back in about 96 for a couple of years. And yeah, you can actually die from benzos and from alcohol withdrawals, which opiates, you feel like you're going to die. You wish you would die. But allegedly, it's not very common. And that's what always, I guess, because everybody's experience is different, but with the relapse rate being so high, for me, withdrawal was so traumatic and so painful that that's a very strong detractor. I don't believe they keep me off of them. It's called I wish I knew what it was called. And she doubled my dose so I could break them to make them cheaper. But I remember I didn't get them filled a couple of times, and I'd gone in there. I go in every 90 days, and I said, I don't really need those refilled because A, they're expensive. B, I don't take them anymore. And she was like, you need to be on these. And then went into the whole, not only for depression, but addiction. It's one of the things that, so I take them. Because I have a feeling they take me off everything else. You never know. But medicine is a money grab, for sure. Yeah, and I don't know, Ed, who you're talking about. Was it always a video of back? Okay, that's, and I won't talk about it much. But the thing that happened in New York with that CEO, that guy, the perp, had back surgeries that he felt were unneeded, some spine fusions and things like that. Now, I don't know if that was directly related to why he did what he did, but it is, and we're all dependent on it to some point. I mean, that's the whole, It's not really a choice that we have when we're going to need it or how to use it. And you're really at the mercy of wherever you land if you're incapacitated. Bless Knives, Donnie, have a good night, buddy. Get you some sleep, man. We're just hanging for a while. Play it by ear. It's only 12:30 here. I know it's 1:30 for some of y'all on the East Coast. And I bet dealing with the VA is a nightmare, Richard. I hate that, buddy. Peace out, Donnie.
Here's Milky, the marvelous milking cow. It's fun to milk her, gonna do it right now. She drinks the water when we pump her tail. She's raising her head, it's milking time now. Her pretend milk is a feeling the pail.
She drinks water. I guess.
She drinks water and gives milk. Josh, the world would be a much better place if it was a prerequisite. Exactly. So you can have an ego death. And learn that there's more to work to life than just you. Not just you, but you, anybody. Anybody. Just keeping everybody awake. I took all my action clips out of here, it looks like. And I think there's a lot that I know back in the 80s, my dad had back problems and they thought he was going to need surgery. And he did these exercises that I guess his physical therapist put him on every morning before he went to work for like 20 minutes, these stretching exercises. And it kept him, he's 83 now and he's never had the back surgery. His brother's had it like 3 times. He's had disc removed, disc replaced, and it's just been a nightmare for him. Just an absolute nightmare. T-Fetch, you come down anytime, brother. We need to rally at Blade Show. I'm going to make sure I make the whole weekend this year. I am not going to try to do it in one day. Paul, when I quit, it was when my daughter was born, and I was on the Nicorette candy. I could never quit that. The Nicorette gum, I tried it first, but I got TMJ because I was chewing so much. And then I got on the vape, which I'm still on, but I'm on the real low nicotine. And I haven't gone back to cigarettes. Oh, damn, dude. See, that's the whole thing is the consensus is you find very few people who said, man, it was the best thing that I could have done. Now, I've heard that with shoulder surgeries, with other things that really seem to give people relief. But back surgery seems like a risky bitch. Richard, I will check it right now, brother. Oh, I've got that on loop. Hold on, guys. The cat's being whack. Richard, I appreciate that, brother. I'll shoot it out to you just as soon as we're done here. Knife Nut, you'd be surprised. The first time I went, which was 2022, I didn't take any really knife buying money. I think I bought a Kizer. It was a button lock, but I forget which one it was. And I bought a Eutectic Trinity, but the whole thing was the people. It was cool looking at the knives because you can look at knives all day, then come out in the hall and there'll be a group of people sitting around. And my whole thing is I could go to Blade Show and spend the whole time hanging out at people's Airbnbs, not even going to the show. Because to me, it's so much about hanging out with people that you see online, but you don't see in real life. And it's great to see them in real life, especially because I don't think there's anybody, maybe one or two that I've met that were different than I thought they'd be. Hey, Richard, on the return address I send you, there's a little QR code at the bottom. If you scan that, it's got all my information that'll go in your phone, my phone number, my email, everything if you want to keep it. I'm just typing this in real quick. All right. Oh, that is it. Coming back to you, Richard. There's so many people that I see it a lot on podcasts. I don't know how much of it's real and how much of it's fake, but there's so many people that get out of so many different types of positions and then become kind of whistleblowers that it's just wild. I do meds for my dad because he has to have them in a little thing that dispenses them because he takes 9 pills in the morning and 4 at night. Most of them are for his heart and for other stuff because he's 83. But I can't imagine what those pills are. And Paul, see, to me, that you can't just do that to somebody without helping them, get to that point, because what happens is you become restless, you become depressed, you have withdrawals, and you start thinking crazy shit. Awesome, Richard. And there's some doctors that are great, and there's some doctors that are probably really good, but that have bad days. Kyle Cooley, what is up, dude? Good to see you, Maine. Hey, throw. I think I've got a Kyle Coonley special banner. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? And compassion, my dad's doctor is compassionate, but then he guilt trips me. Like he keeps trying to tell us that he needs to be in a memory care facility, which he was in before lockdown. And then that became a huge problem. And so we've got somebody that goes by and sees him during the day, and I go see him every evening. And this guy guilt trips me because I just don't think he wants it on his conscience that he's out there. You know, we've taken his car away. Exactly right, Derek. I agree with that 100%. And most of the pharmaceuticals, or a good number of them, are derived from natural products. And they make the natural ones illegal to get. Kind of a funny how that sham happens. Yeah, the girl that I've told y'all about that I dated for 4 years had a twin sister that mysteriously passed away during that. That's true. Now, it is natural. It's pancha, which is not propylene glycol. It's forget what the suspension is. But yeah, my Starbucks Double Energy is chemical based. Most everything I eat is chemically enhanced. And now you've got all the craziness going on in California. I mean, we're some weird times. We are in some odd times. Still don't know what's going on with the drones. Or if we do, I don't. I used to see Stacy in lives all the time. I've not seen her in quite a while. I'm glad to know she's still doing good because she is sweet. And you know, somewhere in the middle is the truth, but I don't. In my older age or my wisdom, I've learned that I don't trust government. You know, why should I? They're not. They're not here to make it better for me. I don't believe. I don't believe I'm part of the plan. Derek, if you Google it now, you can barely find anything on it. It's bizarre. Let's see what they say on the. Trump says he'll release New Jersey drone report. Strange lights over New Jersey. Is it advanced tech? Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, there's still a ton of news on it. And across the U.S., that's 3 weeks ago. It's just like a lot of weird shit going on, right? We could be in a simulation for all we know. Good question. Let's go inauguration date. It is on the 20th of January. Yeah, they're being launched out of submarines. They've had fishing boats that have seen them come out, and they're as big as like a Volkswagen Bug. Vegetable glycol, yep. Yeah, because they're not they don't know what the propulsion is. They think I've heard, and this is on a podcast, so I don't know how real it is, but that it's some kind of anti-gravitational propulsion. That's why there's no heat signatures, and that's why they can stay up so long and travel so far. But you know, who knows? And I really think when anybody gets in office, that a group of people come in there and tell them how it's going to be. Absolutely. Absolutely, Ed. Have y'all been seeing on YouTube those Norfolk Grumman or Boeing commercials with the lady in the elevator? Hold on. See if this is it. Oh, maybe it's is it Norfolk Grumman? Grumman commercial. Maybe that's it. Yeah, that's her. Have y'all seen these commercials that make no sense to me? Because I don't even know if this is a publicly traded company or not. But I've been seeing these ads all over YouTube. And it's just this chick in an elevator.
We push the laws of physics. You see, the technology we make is what makes the impossible possible. And it doesn't stop there.
And then she goes up. It doesn't stop there. And I mean, she's just a sales chick. And what are they selling? I mean, are they a publicly traded company where they sell stock? The other ones of this submarine. Let's see if this is it.
This is where we engineer the future.
Uh-oh, it's not sharing.
And it doesn't stop there.
The one with the submarine is the freaky ass one because it looks like a ray. This thing right here. Have y'all seen this thing?
The first of its kind underwater glider is here. Manta Ray is a new type of uncrewed.
It's an uncrewed, like a drone. And I don't know if y'all have watched any of that drone footage, but that shit's scary. I don't think there'll be people. I mean, I think we'll be dropping off those little robot dogs. True. It just doesn't make sense that they'd be so hush hush about it and tell people they weren't really seeing it and stuff. That's just odd. And then there are people that say it's been going on forever. Cats, robot cats would be better. But those, I think those are Norfolk Grumman. Let's go. Robot. Have y'all seen that robot that kicks field goals? You know, see something creepy? Kicking field. All right. So if this doesn't give you the creeps, can y'all see that? Watch this shit. And there are a lot of videos with this fucking thing. So it's like legit. I mean, people, that's creepy. That's Terminator shit. Luke, is that not real? I'll show you what's definitely real. Hold on. Let's go. Robot. All right. So that looked a little too freaky to me, too. This is pretty freaky. And I've seen these on Instagram. And those things are running all over the Ukraine. They're getting dropped off drones. Hold on a second. Do this. All right, here you go. What? Stop that. Go back here. Share this. Don't worry, dude. I will not get docs from Angelina. She's not my type anyway. Now Megan Fox. And they just drop those things off. Yeah, they're definitely nuts. Oh, I will, Derek, for sure. Yeah, I mean, there's so much stuff that's getting like scary. AI is scary, guys. I don't know if y'all have ever used Chat GPT. I've got it on my phone. I use it to write letters. I use it to write a resignation letter. Have y'all ever seen Chat GPT? Check this out. Find it right here. I don't want to log in. All right. So if I go right here and I go write a resignation letter to ABC company from John Evans. And then I go enter. And it's that quick. Y'all see that? It's came up with I hope this message finds you well. It's with a mix of gratitude and sadness that I want to formally resign from my position at ABC Company effectively. And then it tells you to put the last day. I've greatly appreciated the opportunity. I mean, it just nails it. And the only thing you have to change is punctuation. It sometimes fucks up punctuation. Derek, I don't know if you know, but Tucker Carlson drives a carbureted truck and doesn't use a smartphone. Yeah, AI is creepy. Very creepy. Gboard, that's on. I know that's on Play Store. I had that on my Samsung. That's a great keyboard and voice translation text, voice to text. I hate because I'll sit there and I'll be watching a live stream on my Apple TV, my bigger TV, and I'll be typing on my iPhone, and I always fat thumb it. He is. It just makes you wonder what he knows, right? I mean, I think there are people out there that are in the know. Oh, yeah, and you got to wonder what those agendas are, right? When you get that much power and that much money, you want to, it's almost like a natural God complex. That is too cool, Luke. Did y'all see Tucker Carlson when he was on with Theo Vaughn? When Theo Vaughn interviewed him, and they were talking about their cocaine days? Tucker was a big coker too. I do. I love. That's where I get a lot of my long form content. But I was always kind of a Tucker fan. I always liked his logic. Lena Horne, sweet. The closest I did was River Phoenix. But he was being a prick, and I didn't sell to him. He was whining. This is about a year before he passed, when he was playing in Alika's attic, his band with his sister and his brother. And they came through Auburn. No doubt, dude. I had the Motorola, not the bag phone, but the brick phone. The big ivory colored phone that had the big battery that was like this tall and looked like a brick. Well, it's just scary. Even Google, what it knows. I mean, it knows. They say there's no saying in the advertising world that Google knows you want sushi before you know, because it's so predictive. Lena Horne had it going on. Exactly, T-Fetch. I never had the bag phone. I came right after the bag phone. I think I got my first 93 or 94. And you couldn't put it in your pocket. And then I got the Nokia when I moved back to Huntsville. Then I had a StarTAC. And then I was big into Blackberries. Matt, it won't help you with that, buddy. I'd look in the couch. That's where mine always goes. They're in the recliner. That's true, Ed. And a lot of it's what it wants you to find. Yeah. Don't get a beeper and don't order it from where? North Korea or South Korea? I never had a beeper. And I lived all through the beeper years, but I wasn't dealing drugs. So I didn't really need a beeper. We'd always just roll up on our buddies' houses. Beepers seemed to go hand in hand with payphones back in my day. Somebody'd get their beeper would go off, they'd go to a payphone. Hey, that's an important coin, Mad. I have not picked up my last two. Like Scott from Choir Boys Cutlery says, never stop trying to quit. It'll stick. I was a fluke. I didn't think I needed it. I went at the suggestion of my psychologist when I was in marriage counseling. And that first meeting, something happened and I never drank again. Didn't relapse once yet. Knock on wood. Yeah, they are extinct. God, they were nasty too. But we lived off of them. I can remember some brutal calls I had to make from payphones. Not warm, fuzzy calls to my parents. But I think house phones are pretty much extinct. We turned my dad's off because all that was calling him were scammers. My mom keeps hers on. She wants it on, but I haven't had a landline 15 years. It has to be at least 15 years. And in the last 6 years, I haven't had cable. I just had high-speed internet, and everything's run off that. All my shit's run off that. So has everybody got a busy week? What's tomorrow? We got Mattisfaction early. And then I think what's Rochambeau do his thing on Wednesday nights. I never really tune in much on Wednesday nights. And I haven't seen Lefty go live in a few Thursdays. Has anybody seen Lefty live? I know he went live once. And I know he's doing a lot of dad time with his older daughter, which I totally get. We did. We didn't wear helmets. We jumped over everything. Mad Yaka, you got to find it, dude. You probably carried it into the bathroom or something. Usually if I can't find it in normal places, because I've got a real small house, but I've set it somewhere. I misplace my phone all the time. And then I'll go to Apple, find my phone. I've been seeing his videos. I don't know of anything else, but I know that I saw his video for Hot Knives. Let me see. I'm pulling him up. Hot Knives of 2024. Yeah, the dopest knives of 2024 he put out 2 days ago. So he's still doing his thing. Ooh. How is the Starlink? Kyle, I'm with you there. There are a few. I like the Honey Bucket. I like Zach if I'm not asleep, but usually Sunday afternoon I'm crashed on the couch. And lately I've been missing Big Red, but yeah, for me it's hard because I have to type on my phone and I just get overwhelmed. I feel like I'm missing people. But Metal Mondays is fun. Mad Yako's sweet. That's a great knife. All those 3U tactics are sweet. Yeah, Ron, he went live with Ben Belkin right before the last Jack Wolf, and he'll come back to it. Lefty's busy. I mean, they just had the mini growler launch. And I'm sure, I can only imagine. I mean, I was a one child household, but I can only imagine having a 3 or a 4-year-old and then bringing a baby in, and your 3 or 4 year old is no longer the baby. That's an adjustment for everybody. But I see him quite often in that YouTube knife group. I think he started that. I think it's part of their pass around group too. I've never gotten in any of the pass around groups. I think they're a good thing. I just don't really know how they work. Kyle would be great live. He goes live Friday nights with me, but he could definitely do his own thing for shiz. And I'm telling you, my sharpening has gotten so much better. Still got a ways to go. I can still get better. I still see little imperfections under my loop. Richard, what kind of speeds are you getting? You're getting fast, aren't you? As fast as you want? Ed, how do you like the mini growler? The full-size growler was probably my favorite of the Devo knives until the Lush came out. I really like the Lush. I just haven't had the same urge to collect them as I did. Just a router, cable, and a dish. Sweet, dude. Isn't that an Elon's thing? Did Elon do Starlink too? I know he's doing Neuralink. Are y'all going to sign up for Neuralink? Kyle, you are overcome with narcissistic tendencies. You just don't realize it yet. That's a sign of a true narcissist. Sweet, dude. Yeah, I'm paying close to that. I mean, I was paying 80. I think I'm paying like 120, 130 now for AT&T. Yeah, Kyle busts everybody's balls. He can take it. And I guess, Richard, you never have to adjust your dish or anything, do you? Does it all dial itself in? That's great, buddy. Yeah, that's, Ed, I bought into that too when it was first like reported that he was the champion of Diablo or whatever. He's a weird dude. I mean, he's definitely, I would think he's got autistic tendencies. I mean, to be into so much different shit, you can't be normal, right? I mean, I wouldn't think you could be normal and have your hand in so much. You're being good, Derek. That's true. If you'll lie about little things, what else will you lie about? Again, that's one thing. Two things my sponsor told me early on not to get as deep into as I was. I used to watch 24-hour news all the time. I watch none now. And I used to watch Auburn football all the time, and it would just bring me down, and I watch none now. And it's better. I don't need the anxiety. What are feelings? Feelings are when your fingers slowly drift over Shane's back and you can feel the coarseness of his back hair. Or has he done something with AI, Ed? See, I wondered if he maybe went in there and hacked it and created some little AI character that was, able to navigate it and learn, with some kind of machine learning, some kind of little test type thing, right? There's no telling. True. Very true. Yeah, but if you ever want to get deep, sit there with your feelings and try to identify what they are. 121, dude, that's sick. If I run a speed test, mine is 716, download 428, upload. It runs my streams, so I don't get a lot of laggy, but I did find it worked a lot better when I've got a router, but I hardwire into my computer too. I've got a bunch of Cat 5 that runs from my router through my living room. Yeah, and that's the whole thing, Ed. To develop a character like that, there are not enough hours in the day for him to do anything else, really. He's definitely done a lot of questionable shit. Like all those people are, though. I mean, really? They can get weird, but they can be transformative. They totally kept me from hunting, dove hunting or duck hunting. I never Shrek. That's funny, Crispy. Hey, I'm scared of what's in the ocean than I am what's in space. Ocean's creepy, man. There's shit in there that'll eat you up. And I would hate to be on any kind of submarine or any kind of boat for that matter. People are like, hey, you want to go on a cruise? No, thank you. I will pass. I'll go to the beach. Back call. Dude, I'm such a hack. It's amazing that my stuff even works. I say it's amazing it works. It doesn't always work. It works some. That's what feelings are, Kyle. I'd rather be in the mountains too, Richard. I'm not a big sand person, but if it was boat versus beach, I would rather be on the beach than on a boat. But I'd much rather be in the mountains. Just kicking it. Kyle, that's good stuff to get into, dude. I'm trying to get back into AdWords and shit like that. And it's amazing how much changes in a year. That's continuing education for shiz. I don't know what I'll do with it, but I just feel like I have to be up on it. Well, kids, we've been going 3 hours. It's after 1 o'clock. It is 2 o'clock on the East Coast. I'm going to see you guys Friday. Chloroform. Guys, do me a favor. Look out for the guy or gal to your left. Look out for the guy or gal to your right. Look out for each other. Come see me Friday night. Kyle Coonley will hopefully join us, and we'll do some sharpening stuff, and we'll do some hanging. I love each and every one of you. Till we meet again. Keep it real. Peace.
Back in my bag, yo. Conscious. ISO. Diamond. Back in my bag and I gotta brag, I do this shit for real. When we was down and we had nothing, we had to share a meal. We put the shit in overdrive with no steering wheel. Shorty throw that thing back in a pair of heels. Yeah, she be riding on that thing like a Ferris wheel. Yeah, I love them dark skin, brown skin, caramel. You know I had to bring it to the hood like she can't.